Against doctor's orders, Tupac Shakur checked himself out of the hospital less than 24 hours after being shot 5 times on the way to a Manhattan recording studio.
Tupac Shakur secures one clean legal victory this year as he is dismissed of assault charges brought against him when he allegedly shot at 2 off-duty Atlanta cops on Halloween last year. The case was dismissed due to insufficient evidence. More controversy surrounding Tupac Shakur.
Meanwhile, in Tupac news...
He was one of the most successful rappers ever to make it out of the ghetto, but the hood would never travel far from his mind and heart. It was what he knew and loved, and it would eventually become the foundation of his raps and his rage. Born to Athena Shakur, a Black Panther, Tupac never knew who his father was. A reality, he says, often left him feeling empty and unmanly. Tupac the child grew up on the streets of New York, but Tupac the artist was really born in Maryland at the Baltimore School for the Arts. It was there that he wrote his first rap and discovered his love for acting. He couldn't have known it at the time, but this school was the first step up his ladder of success. And teachers felt something was special about Tupac.
The school is sad that he died, and in fact died in such a violent way. But it does say something from our point of view that we thought of him as an artist.
Tupac never graduated from the school. After his junior year, at 17, he moved with his family to a suburb of Oakland, California, a high school dropout. He says that's when he got off one track and onto the one that would dominate the remaining years of his life, what he called the thug life, and one he learned all too well. The guns, the drugs, the positives of toughness and street smarts. He lived that life, and when he started recording, built his career on these images, ones which the inner city cheered, but white America feared. He was only 25 years old when he died, but his influence will live on for years to come, because Tupac Shakur brought light to the hidden darkness of the ghetto, its people and lifestyle. Although he made it out, he never forgot his friends he left behind. And that's his true legacy fans will forever remember about him.
Let's talk a little bit about what happened to you when you were growing up. Your parents were in the Black Panther Party.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of like their job.
Yeah, it was. My mother was in the Black Panther Party. She was like at a high position, which was like unheard of, because of course there was sexism even in the Panthers. So, and my stepfather at the time, Matul Shakur, he was also like a well-known, like revolutionary. True, all of my roots to the struggle are real deep. And then my godfather, Geronimo Pratt, you know, he was like had a top official rank position with the Panthers on the West Coast.
Right, and we just mentioned he's, of course, serving a life sentence right now.
Yeah.
Your mom was carrying you when she went to jail the first time. That's a very interesting story in itself. What happened to her? Why was she in jail?
Because, like, you know, there's racism. So when the Panthers hit, the government panicked, and they had a thing called a COINTELPRO, and they felt like the Panthers were detrimental to American society, so they raided every Panthers house, especially the ones who they felt like could do the most damage as an orator. So my mother was 9 months pregnant, 7 months pregnant. They put a match to the door and said, "Fire, fire." And, you know, it's like 5 in the morning, so my mother opened the door and they just burst in, put a shotgun to her pregnant belly, and put a gun to her head and said, "Don't move, die. You're under arrest."
What does it do to a young man like yourself, though, when all of your heroes, your mother, your father, whom has passed away, he was incarcerated as well, your godfather, all of your heroes have been to jail.
And they weren't all Panthers. My father was my stepfather was a Panther. My father was a gangster, a straight-up ignorant, hustler. But he loved the fact that the Panthers, my mother told me is that it was a one-night stand. But he loved the fact that the Panthers would go to jail and wouldn't snitch. They were true to each other, as women, it was men. And that was a one-night stand. That's how I came to be, out of the love for black people. So that's how I got to live, and that's how I have to die. And that's how my music has to be, and my acting, and my producing, and my interviews, everything has to be for the love of black people.
Put my heart into my music. I want to be the realest artist ever. I want everybody to talk about Tupac. He was the realest artist ever. He never sold out. He stayed the same. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't change him.
Everything I ever say, whether it's good or bad, it's coming from my heart.
Yes.
And if it's wrong, then, you know, God ain't finished with him yet. Let him check me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say it as it comes from my heart because that's what we need. Obviously, when, you know, I seen all of that. I seen the crack babies, all of that. So nothing America can show me, nothing these critics, nothing, nobody can show me can back me down.
The only thing I have is my heart. You know what I mean? Don't take that. My heart, my dignity, and my honor. That's all I got. As Tupac. Don't take that from me. Ain't nobody taking nothing from me. Them dudes that took the jury, all of that was insured. I got more now. Everything that they took, I got back. But better. You know what I mean? Everything. If I crash my car, I got a new car. Somebody takes something from me, I'm getting something else. I'm a survivor forever. I will never stop. Until God take me up off of this, I'm going to always move forward. I will always be here. Until somebody take me off this planet, I'm going to always move forward. I ain't no quitter. Can't nobody stop me.
We're outside the University Medical Center Trauma Unit here in Las Vegas, where Tupac Shakur remains in critical condition since Saturday night. Doctors say he faces long odds against surviving the ambush that cut him down. BET has exclusive footage of Shakur and his entourage immediately following the Tyson-Selden fight on Saturday. Notice his comment as he passes our camera.
Everybody that go to jail come out, they got good luck.
And within hours, his luck ran out. Mary and Suge Knight, chairman of Death Row Records, and Tupac Shakur were on their way to this club, 662, at the time of the shooting. Police say at least 13 rounds were fired at Shakur. 4 bullets made contact. He was then rushed to the trauma center at the University Medical Center in Las Vegas. Friends and family remain vigilant at this point and prayerful. I spoke with Ms. Shakur earlier today, who said to tell everyone the family is doing fine, but of course it's far too emotional at this point for them to appear on camera. Earlier Friday, family and friends came and went, no one knowing what was to come. It was about 5:04 Pacific time when I received a page saying that he had been rushed to surgery and his condition was code, meaning no vital signs. At 4:03, he was pronounced dead. There was frustration from his brothers and friends, angry, hurt, and confused.
Glad to see a lot of people coming around, let him know he was loved. That all the player haters on saying that, you know, this, I guess is what the gang people was wishing for. They was all talking about he died and stuff.
Within minutes, almost magically, cars of fans continued to appear around the medical center. Many had heard of his death on a local radio station. You were one of the first people to show up here today. How did you hear about it, and what did you hear?
I was listening to the local radio station, and they announced that he passed at 4:15 our time here in Las Vegas. I was riding and I was devastated, you know, because it's been a matter of 6 days and I really thought he was going to pull through. I was devastated.
Mrs. Shakur, shielded by family, was rushed away. At about 6 p.m., Suge Knight, the Outlaws, and Danny Boy arrived at the hospital only to leave within minutes, finding that the body had been taken to the coroner's office. And late into the night, fans held a candlelight vigil, praying for Tupac's soul and for the goodness of his family.
Basically, we want people to know that we did love Tupac very much through all of his aspects, through his thugging, through his knowledgeable time, through his dear mama period, through his keep your head up period when he's telling black women be strong, because right now with the interracial dating that is going on, which I'm not going to trip on it, but we fighting for our black men.
What's up, Rap City? We thugging it, you heard me? It's my boy's birthday, Tupac. It's going down right here on BET.
The hate you gave little infant. Thuglife. The hate you gave little infant. UCK, everybody. Meaning, what you feed us as seeds grows and blows up in your face. That's thug life. I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making it. You know, nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long.
There is no mercy on these streets. It's only you, and you can only achieve what you desire and what you see yourself grabbing. There's nobody will help you make your dreams come true. You out there by yourself. I don't care what they tell you about black, white, Mexican. You out there by yourself.
Tonight I see the fans are wild for you. What's it been like?
It's cool. No problem.
Has it been difficult, easy?
It's cool. It's all good. It's something that happens all the time. You know, I'm always in the streets. This ain't nothing new. On location every day. So it's all good. It's all good.
Tupac, are you focusing now more on Tupac?
Fight and talking about location. Should I shoot that?
No.
Might as well. You talking about location? Look.
Get back, guys. Okay. What are they fighting about? Yeah.
What's up, man? All right.
No. Okay. Well, we hope they will get over this fight.
I missed it. To me, it's like it is my sensitive side that that likes to blow up the hard side, because if my image or my reputation can stop a confrontation before it happens, I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? I know how it is day to day. It's a constant man ego check going on in this street, in this world. So part of that is just like, you know, that's my resume. But as far as the media, they look at it as something different. They don't care about my resume. They don't care about me not getting in trouble. It's just another story, you know, and it's a real story. They don't have to pay for it, and they're going to milk it for all it's worth. As far as people, they want me, when they first see me, to humble myself. They want me to be like this and da-da-da, just because they're scared of me. But I don't feel like that's my job, to humble myself, to show you that I'm not a threat. I'm not a threat, unless you're a threat to me.
Critics say, yeah, but you're being pimped. You're being pimped by the record executives who will allow you to do your thug life because it portrays a certain black. I mean, you've heard it,
yeah,
that if you were just a singer, you wouldn't have the same record contracts you have.
Right.
But because you portray the thug life, the gangster rap, they've allowed you to make that money. They've allowed you to push and make your platinum.
I beg to differ. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting pimped. That's true. But just like how a woman would be, you know what I'm saying? Anybody to be pimped. You know, it's like, it's not that you get pimped, it's how long you get pimped. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really look at this situation, it is not I who's being pimped. When you look at the white kids with Raiders hats on, it's the white folks getting pimped. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm making their future. I'm writing down their curriculum. Right now, what I write in my album today, when it comes out in 2 months, that's what white kids is doing. So who really is getting pimped? What I'm writing in my raps is what the white kids is gonna be saying to their mamas and daddies when they come home. Who is getting pimped? You know what I'm saying? I'm a high school dropout. You know what I'm saying? As far as my teacher told me when I was in high school, I ain't gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta, it's going down. You know what I'm saying? It's going down. You know, everybody's getting pimped. Whether you work a 9 to 5 or whether you work for yourself, you're getting pimped by somebody. You would be amazed at how many times I don't get a chance to just tell my side. And my side is always more interesting, because when I tell you my side, you're going to see how hard the other side worked for their side to come out.
You see, Shakur is also a young man in trouble with the law. He faces numerous charges across the country. Among his legal woes, he served time in jail for assaulting a movie director that fired him from a project. He's apologized for that one. He's been involved in a shooting incident with an off-duty police officer.
I had no record all my life, okay? No record, no police record, until I made a record. As my video was debuting on MTV, I was behind bars getting beat up by the police department. I got a $10 million lawsuit. They said they would settle with me and everything. You know what I'm saying? But nobody cared about that. That wasn't blew up all in the news. They did not see me on TV with my eye busted, my head busted. There's pictures of those.
In Oakland,
yes, in Oakland. You don't see them pictures. You see pictures of Tupac coming out of jail in cuffs. You don't see pictures of the police standing over me beating my brains in. You don't see that. But I see that. All of this is scars I'll go to my grave with.
I can see
These are
it.
learn to be scars. That's what
Who
these
did that
do.
to you?
Oakland Police Department. All above my eye, all of that.
Why?
And I pay their salary because I was an outspoken young black man. They were sweating me for jaywalking.
You were jaywalking and they stopped you?
And I swear to you, I don't even know what jaywalking is. Didn't until they beat me down for it. They stopped me. They asked me for my ID. My real name is Tupac Shakur. There's nothing fake about me. There's no stage name or stage aura. That's my name, and that's how I said it. My name is Tupac Shakur. Just because my name wasn't John Brown, it irked them. So they started, you know, saying, what your mother named you that for, blah, blah. So I got hot. That was beyond the call of duty. So I was like, give me my citation, let me go about my business. And I said the words that NWA made famous. So that got him too high. He couldn't stand to see a young black male tell him. So they put their hands on me.
In October, he faces trial on charges of sodomy.
The little rape charge and all that, I was with him when he was doing Above the Rim. There's people in the street, you got caught out there, whatever. Yo, that hurt him. That cut him down.
I'm not guilty. People should look me in my eyes. They should look me in my eyes. And anybody that thinks I committed that rape should go get Brenda's Got a Baby and keep your head up and listen to him thoroughly.
It was hard to imagine that you would do that.
It shouldn't be nothing for, it should not even be to me. I have no patience for anybody that doubts me. None, at all. It's too hard out here. You know what I'm saying? If my people don't stand up for me, who is? I understand these white folks looking at me like that because they don't know me. They didn't hear keep your head up. That ain't no fluke. You know, keep your head up ain't no goddamn come up. I didn't do that for to be smiling in my face to say, oh, he's cool. I did that from my heart. So that if they do try to put a rape charge on me, my sisters could say he ain't about that. Now, if my sisters can't say that, you won't hear another keep your head up out my mouth. I cannot die with people thinking I'm a rapist or a criminal. I can't leave until this shit's straight. You know, I'm not suicidal. I can't go until y'all really know what time it is. And then after that, boom, it's all over. And we can see, you know, how this shit fall. But that's how it is. And the reason being is because if I can't live free, if I can't live with the same respect as the next man, I don't want to be here.
I got shot a whole bunch of times. I went to jail for a whole bunch of months. And it's just a learning experience. You know, I wish I could say more about it, but it's just like a learning experience. You learn everything you learn from. So from that, I learned a lot. I learned humility, I learned patience, and I learned forgiveness. You getting duped in the butt. You know why it was difficult for me? Not that somebody say I got raped in jail. It was difficult because people was believing it. I was like, how the hell y'all gonna believe I got raped in jail? They pulled 2 guns on me and told me to get on the floor, and I wouldn't get on the floor with 2 guns. What makes you think I'm gonna go to jail with no guns is gonna make me turn over and give up my whole manhood? It didn't make sense, you know what I mean? Only thing I have is my heart. You know what I mean? Don't take that. My heart, my dignity, and my honor, that's all I got. It's kind of hypocritical because people love to, you know, have mercy and sympathy for everything, from the animals to the whales to fur to everything except us, your youth, the ones who you give no attention to, who become adults with no compassion, you know what I mean? And I feel like if you walk by a street and you was walking on concrete and you saw a rose growing out of concrete, even if it had messed up petals and it was a little, you know, to the side, you would marvel at just seeing a rose grow through concrete. So why is it that when you see some ghetto kid grow out of all of the dirtiest circumstances and he can talk and he can sit across from you, make you smile, make you cry, make you laugh, all you can talk about is my dirty rose, my dirty stems, and how I'm leaning crooked to the side. You can't even see that I came up out of that. And that's exactly the analogy that it is for me.
What's up, BT? This Master P, and I'm kicking it on Rap City. You watching the Tupac birthday special, and it's going down right here. You heard me? Hootie hoo!
Yeah, I ain't married no more, though.
Oh, no?
It ain't work. I tried, though.
I don't know what was going through his head, but all I know is that the next day, it was something totally different.
Jealousy on both our parts, I say, because I don't want to make it like it's her fault. Jealousy for anybody.
Now, you got the marriage annulled. Was that your idea or Tupac's idea, and why did you have an annulment?
My lawyers said that it would be best for me because I was concerned with court cases and tax situations, so I just didn't want to be responsible for any of, you know, of being sued for anything.
So you were afraid of his mounting debts and...
I wouldn't say debts, but I just didn't want to be responsible for anything that, you know, that happened before me.
My lifestyle is just real wicked. It takes a hell of a woman to be in this type of lifestyle with me. And I'm real demanding. I'm a hard person to love. But I love real hard, but I'm a hard person to love.
What I liked about him is that our relationship, we didn't do our relationship for the people. We didn't go and say, look, we had to fight. Look, with this club, or we doing this. We did it for me and him. We would go in there, have fun, and we was real deep on a lot of stuff. I mean, real deep. We was at the point where we used to have conversations. And I'd say, you know what? I work hard at what I do. You work hard at what you do. We're a perfect team. And if something happened to go wrong and I'm not there, you know, you got to pick up the pace and make it happen. You know, the guy sent Pac to the earth to do certain things, and he done them. He represented us, not only me, I mean, people in general. And he probably did so much good and made so many things happen that it was time for him to make better things happen in heaven. And for me, maybe I got a lot of more stuff to do. The sad thing about it is a lot of people who maybe really didn't know Tupac, didn't know him to love him, they're trying to use this opportunity. If they're an actor or actress who's forgotten, who's out the business, they want to go and say, I'm going to attend some type of service and do something for Tupac. Don't try to use my homeboy to get back in the game. Or don't go out there and bootleg no T-shirts and keychains about Tupac where he don't get the money and sell them on the street. Don't use him. I mean, that's the part that's real sad, how people try to do that. Don't turn him leaving here into a circus. Tupac is on the level of Malcolm X or Martin Luther King. I mean, you see, they live forever. They got holidays. I mean, if we can't get a holiday around the world, at least we can get one in my neighborhood for Tupac. I mean, we'll just, you know, we'll celebrate, you know, his birthday every year. I guess God didn't find no replacement for Tupac yet. As soon as God finds a replacement for Tupac, I'm gone, but until he do, I'll be here doing what he want me to do.
Pac is a strong dude, yo. I know dude, you know what I'm saying? Right. He real strong. So when it was like he got shot, I was just more like, again? You know what I'm saying? He always getting shot or shot at. He gonna pull through this one again, make a few records about it, and it's gonna be over, you know what I'm saying? But when he died, I was just like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? It kind of took me by. I mean, even though we was going through our drama, I would never wish death on nobody, you know what I'm saying? Because ain't no coming back from that.
When I sat in that prison cell up in New York City, all I could think about was California and how much I love California and Sunset Boulevard and Crenshaw and Long Beach, everything just, oh man, the 101, the 110, everything. I just love California. Roscoe's, El Polo Loco, Taco Bell, everything. I love California. That's all I thought about. I used to have a homie send me pictures of just California, just the streets and stuff. So when I came out and Dre had this beat in the song, I was like, this is the song for me. California Love. I want to put California back on the map because the East Coast like screaming out West New York, and they kind of like disrespecting the West Coast. So I'm gonna put it back down to the West Coast to show like we ain't really tripping off, you know, hip hop or really nothing. Not me personally. I'm gonna speak for myself. I don't care about hip hop and all of that. I'm a rapper. I'm just rapping. You know what I mean? To me, hip hop is being yourself, doing your own thing. I ain't trying to bring 1970 back. I'm trying to do it live right here in 1995, 96, 97. So California Love is just for all my people in California, the West Coast in general. I love you, I love you, I love you. This is where I make my home at. This is where I just love California.
Out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. Soon as I step on the scene, I'm hearing screaming, fiending for money and alcohol, the life of a West Side player with cowards out and a strong ball.
I kind of realized how powerful Tupac and I was. You know what I'm saying? Because we two individual people, we waged a coastal beef. You know what I'm saying? One man against one man made a whole West Coast hate a whole East Coast and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And that really bugged me out. Like, yo, Duke don't like me, so this whole coast don't like me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like him, so my whole coast don't like him. It just kind of let me know how much strength I had. So what I'm trying to do now, you know what I'm saying, with his untimely demise or whatever, I got to be the one to flip it and take my power and flip it like, yo, it got to be dead, you know what I'm saying, because he can't do that. You know what I'm saying? He can't be the one to be like, yo, I want to squash it because he's gone. So I got to take the weight on both sides. That's why I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? We here.
When I was
What's up, Rap City? It's Master P, and we've been chilling in the house all day. We still thugging. It's my boy birthday, Tupac. It's going down. I want to say R.I.P. to the homie. Today is his day, and we're going to make a big thing of it because he represented real hip-hop, and he put a lot of big records out. It's so sad that he ain't here on his birthday, but we're going to represent you, heard me? No Limit style. Hootie-hoo!
Anytime you feel like it, you gotta get the ground beneath your feet, partner. Get the wind behind your back and go out in the blaze if you got to. Otherwise, you might as well be dead your damn self.
I have a whole energy that represents not just black youth, but white youth, Mexican youth, you know what I'm saying? That change right before you go from being 18 and unresponsible to when you go to being like 21, 22, and the whole world's on your shoulders. I believe strongly that my audience empathize with me because I show that side. I show that emotion, raw, uncut, good and bad. And so I think I can bring that more funneled, more directed into screenplays, more albums, producing, managing, you know what I'm saying? If I can figure out just how to control it, I can use it on a lot of different levels.
In fact, it is that raw, uncut energy that Shakur brings to entertaining that has won him a legion of fans. I wondered how he's handling this pretty heady stuff at the tender age of 23.
Filmed on location in New York City, Bullet is gritty and as realistic as it gets. Mickey Rourke stars as Butch Bullet Stein, a tough convict just released from prison. He's lost everything to drugs and violence. Bullet double-crosses a powerful drug dealer called Tank, played by Tupac Shakur.
He's a shot caller. He runs things in his neighborhood. He's not your local drug dealer. He's not that. He's more of an entrepreneur. He's trying to, you know, be a mob figure, you know.
Tupac Shakur is back on the silver screen as the character Spoon in the new movie, Gridlock.
I know for a fact that the part was written for an older person, and that's how he explained it to me. And I pushed the issue that I believe that I could handle it. And I believe that for me to be the nurturing character, the nurturing guy that this character was, for me to be the wiser and the more reasonable and the more logical did not mean that I had to be the older character.
But then came the final okay to hire Tupac from actor, writer, and first-time film director Bondi Curtis Hall.
Early on, we thought about some other actors for the role of Spoon, and you know, now I can't imagine any other actor doing this role. You know, he's so great in it.
And what's the movie about?
I'm scared to tell people it's a comedy because they're gonna go like with their laughing meter. If you go just ready to watch a dramatic piece, it'll be a comedy because it's very funny. It takes some serious issues and just shows the comedy in our own lives.
Tupac co-stars opposite British actor Tim Roth.
Tupac's character is the more down-to-earth one, keeps me kind of in control.
Okay, that was close. That was way too close. We lost.
Tim's a great actor, Tim Roth. So it's a challenge to work beside a great actor. And I like the camaraderie between the two characters, Tim's character and mine.
And will his career as a rapper take a backseat to his acting career?
When it's acting, nobody comes up and goes, you're supposed to be a role model, why did you do that part? But when I'm rapping and I tell these different sides, it's like I got the fate of the whole young black nation on my shoulders, and I really can't take that. It's not worth it.
For Screen Scene, I'm Sheila Frazier.
How you doing? You want my autograph?
Nah,
What you want?
you want my
This is my nephew, y'all, John Singleton. Y'all didn't know that, but yeah, it was nepotism. I got him in the movie. This is my nephew, John. Don't you look
How
cool
y'all
together?
doing?
See?
How you
Nephew.
doing? We got a regular family reunion going on here.
Hold up, y'all, wait a minute. Somebody looking at me crazy. What's up then? Well, do what you gotta do, man. See how he looking at me? See how that go? He just be walking, somebody just start looking at you mean muggy, you know what I'm saying? Like he playing me or something, you know? Now I can keep walking or I can confront that man. I think I'm gonna keep walking, you know, because I don't know what he got with him, you know what I'm saying? He got some people with him. I'll catch you later, man. Don't go nowhere by yourself. Yeah, yeah. What? Go nowhere by yourself, man. You don't know they size, because they, you know, out of nowhere, they can do anything. It's them little, I'm telling you. That's when we started at the club, closing the club. It's be little like that, just like that. Y'all watch out for him. Y'all my witness.
You ever read Eat to Live?
Nope.
Hey, I'm serious. You gotta, read it.
You ever read Do or Die?
Which one?
That gang book.
Yeah, I read that. that. But I'm talking about, eating right. You know what I'm saying? Eating
But it's
right.
too much
Eating
out
right
here.
is being right. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you eat is what you eat, what you are. You know what I'm saying? If you eat hot dogs is like beef. They take the hearts, they take the entrails, everything of the cow and the legs, and they put it in, and that becomes part of you.
But what killed me is everybody be talking about that nature, all of that, but y'all don't know that somebody ain't peeing on all them greens y'all eating, peeing on all them vegetables y'all eating, and y'all swear you healthy. You know, a cow vegetables, and that's better than me eating meat.
But with meat though, meat is like, you know what I'm saying, that stuff just like, it ain't good, man. It ain't good for you and everything, you know?
It's a lot of stuff that ain't good for me, though. It ain't good for me to get shot in the club. It ain't good for me to be hanging out on this block. I mean, but you gotta take your chances, you know? Nobody wanna live forever. I think that my mother, like a lot of people, like a lot of them, like Fred Hampton, Mark Clark, Harriet Tubman, they felt like they were laying tracks for the generation to come. I think my mother knew that freedom wouldn't come in her lifetime, just like I know that it won't come in mine. But it's a matter of either we stay like this or somebody sacrifices. Somebody laid a track so we don't stay in a 360-degree deadly circle. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to break out and risk, losing everything and being poor and getting beat down. But somebody has to do something. Had I had a father, had I had some of these opportunities, I'd have been able to help my mother more. She wouldn't have went the road she went. I could have been a better son. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't have went that road. It was the absence of my father. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with him being daddy not being there. My mother's dealing with him being my man not being there. You know, so many problems in our community that affect everything. So by me not having that, I ain't never want to hear nothing about no kind of relationships between a black man and a black woman. I knew they didn't work. Because as far as I knew, my daddy was the coolest dude out there. And my mama was a Panther. So if they didn't work, it don't work. That's how I felt. You know what I'm saying? And going out there, you know what I'm saying? It's like watching my mother just go through changes and everything. It's like my mother's my partner. She a soldier. You know, she a soldier like I'm a soldier. You know, and I watched the game that she went through. If I would have went the same way my mother went, had not she did her route and showed me where it went wrong with her.
One of the things I've always wanted to ask you was that song, Dear Mama, as you know, was a huge hit for Tupac, one of his greatest hits of all time. I'm wondering what your thoughts were about that song. That song was a very honest song, as you well know. It put in large measure, put a great portion of your life out front in the lyrics of the song for those who didn't know much about you. What are your thoughts about that song specifically in the lyrics?
Well, actually, I think that the wonderful thing about that song is that song is something that I share with millions, probably, of women across this country and probably across the world, I would think, you know. And it's a gift. It's a gift from Tupac to women who've maybe not been perfect, who've made mistakes, but who've been good mothers, you know. And I think that, as I said earlier, Tupac spoke really eloquently about the reality of our lives. Perhaps, you know, I didn't have the life that every viewer that you have has, but I'm sure that a lot of your viewers have shared some of the problems that I've had and also share the joy of getting around and through and over those problems. And that's basically what that song is about. It's a celebration of black mothers, or a celebration really of mothers, because a lot of white and Asian and Hispanic mothers have also related to that song, and so have their children. So I think that that song is a universal declaration of love for mothers who've done the best that they could with what they've had to work with.
But I want to talk about something else, though. I want to talk about the people that don't have their mama no more. Because we all sometimes forget to appreciate our mother. But like my little homeboy Boots on, we don't got no mother today. While we all shedding smiles and being happy, they can't be happy because they don't got no mama. While Danny Boy, he's singing off for all of y'all mama. Danny Boy out here making everybody feel good. He ain't got no mama to hug him. We got to get back to that old school. We all care for everybody. All of us raised all these kids because we all out of here. So last year about this time, I was sitting in a maximum security penitentiary. I couldn't sing this song for my mama, but I'm gonna do it today for all y'all and all y'all mama. Dear mama, people. When I was younger, yeah, my mama had me 17 years old, kicked out on the street. So back at the time, I never thought I'd see a face. Ain't a woman alive back and take my mama's place. Suspended from school and scared to go home. I was a fool with the big boys breaking all the rules. And shed tears with my baby sister. Over the years, we was poor than the other little kids. And even though we had this and that, same drama when things went wrong, we blame mama. I reminisce on the stress I caused. It was hell. Fucking on my mama fucking jail cell. And who thinking elementary? Hey, I see the penitentiary one day. Running from the police, that's right. Mama catch me, put a whoop into my backside. And even at the crack creek, mama, you always was the black queen, mama. I finally understand, for a woman it ain't easy trying to raise a man. You always was committed. A poor single mother on welfare. Tell me how you did it. Ain't no way I can pay you back. Look here, my plan to show you how I understand. Mom, you all appreciate it. And dear mama, hey, check this out. Put your hands in the air if you love your mama. Let me see. Just wave your hands in the air if you love your mama. Raise your hands in the air. Dear mama. Ain't nobody tell us it was fair. No love for my daddy because the coward wasn't there. He passed away, but I didn't cry. Cause my anger couldn't let me feel for a stranger. They say I'm wrong and I'm wrong. But all along I was looking for a father, he was gone. I hung out with the thugs, and even though they sold drugs, they showed a young nigga love. I moved off and started really paying. I needed money on my own, so I started playing. But I ain't guilty, cause even though I sell rocks, it feels good putting money in your mailbox. And I love paying rent when the rent's due. I hope you got that diamond necklace that I sent to you. Cause when I was young, you was there for me. You never left me alone because you cared for me. And I can see you after school trying to make dinner. Fix us a hot plate. Just working with the scraps she was giving. Cause mama made miracles every Thanksgiving. But now the road got rough, you're alone. Trying to raise two bad kids on your own. Ain't no way I can pay you back. But my plan to show you that I understand. RG, appreciate it. Dear mama, it's for all the homeboys that went to jail, that can't put money in their mama's pockets, that can't do all the things that sometimes they feel like they want to do for their mama. Basically, I just want niggas to appreciate their moms again. The song, just appreciate your moms again, man. Remember, you only got one. Not just your mom, like the one you came out of, but half y'all already starting a new family and you already making mothers out of little girls, so you got to make sure they strong and they brain on the right point, because they the ones who's going to make the news. So if all the news is stupid, then we all going to be stupid in the future. So let's raise our babies like
Best for my moms, for my family. I want to be financially secure, and I want to be able to help a lot of people, and I want to be able to change my community, and I want to make my mark on the world.
Tupac was just himself, free to be him. He didn't care what nobody had to say about him. He was being himself. He was a sweet person, a kind person, but nobody could change his mind about the lyrics he wanted to write or the image he wanted to portray. He was just the person he wanted to be.
I'm focusing on changing the world, whatever I can do to achieve more, to be a better person, to make more money, and to get myself to a position in this business where I don't have to take as many orders, and I can give a few, and I can give back. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm setting out one lone young black male with the stack against me against the world, with about 30 cases. They're all getting dropped, and then I'm gonna take the world over.
Tupac was one of the first people to break Hollywood and do movies and whatever, sell 5 million records. It's hard for rap artists to do that, especially with it being his 3rd or 4th album. I think it's his 3rd album. But what I'm saying, it's hard to do your 3rd album and sell 5 million joints. If you in this rap game, you know what I'm talking about, you understand what I'm saying? And it's hard to get into movies and be a good actor at this, you know what I'm saying? I just think overall we lost one of the best artists in this little rap game it is.
I prayed to God every night. I still do that. I just wanted, I wanted God to know that even though I was going through the worst of times, I still recognized Him as being something greater than myself. And that I'm not going to give up my faith just because it's going bad for me, because He was there when I was living good. So I just want Him to know that, that I'm not no punk, I'm not soft-hearted, that when it gets bad, I'm going to be like, oh, I don't believe in God no more. I believe in God all the time, every day, all day. Good and bad, rough and hard, 5 shots, jail time, everything, good time, $1 million, Benzes, all that. I always believe in God, because He gave it all to me.
The person I knew Tupac as, he was like very intelligent, and to me, like, society and people who always talk bad about him had the wrong vision of what kind of person he really was. I mean, everybody has done crazy things before or get put off in the wrong situations with the wrong type of people and wrong surroundings, but he's not a bad person. To me, I think he had a lot of sense, and he was very intelligent.
I guess that's what's frustrating and aggravating, that I can't live down this big shadow that I made to protect myself. Because it started out as just being, I need to get an alter ego to keep people away from me and to protect myself, which everybody does. Like when somebody breaks into your house and you know he's in the house, you wouldn't go in your real voice, excuse me, are you breaking in my house? You would go, hey, what you doing in my house? It's the same thing that I do, you know what I mean? If you're out in the wilderness and I'm just one sheep by myself, I wouldn't go, I want to say my next song, it's called, I would go, woo, the world, you know what I mean? And that's worked, you know what I mean? And not that it's like a total facade, it's me, but it's just blown up.
When I first heard that Tupac was shot, and then like later on down the line they said he had passed away, it was like real shocking. But I feel that what the Lord does is like put things in front of you to show you like lessons. I mean, like goes back to even the easy thing, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because children, they look up, and not just children, but like people our age, I'm saying, they look up to the people that they see on the TV screen and what they hear. And I just think it was a big lesson,
In retrospect, how would you say that your life has been? What would you say about your life? How would you define it?
I would say it's been like a test on my faith, you know what I'm saying? You know how, I guess his name was Job in the Bible, who God just did all of this crazy stuff to him just to make sure his faith was straight. And that's how it was. It made me, if I didn't have all of this stuff, I don't think that my feet would have been so firm to where I could stand up for anything, and I would be less ready to deal with what's out there.
He's going to be missed, you know what I'm saying, his music. I mean, the way I knew him, he was a sentimental cat, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't as hardline as everybody presented him.
He showed love to everybody he met. I don't care who they was, where they was from. East Coast, West Coast, wherever. You know what I mean? We had in More You Till I Join You, damn, I wish they would have known how much you love New York. And then after he passed, it was like, I wish he would have seen how much New York loved him.
Finally, I want to ask you about something that someone else asked you in the interview, and I thought the answer was interesting because I think it speaks to you and your generation a lot. Someone said, where do you see Tupac 10 years from now? You said, hey, I just want to be alive. That's real for you.
That's so real. I made a metamorphosis. I'm a new person today. Because I used to strongly and honestly, I feel like I could represent my generation so much because I honestly did not care whether I lived or died. But now, I cannot die with people thinking I'm a rapist or a criminal. I can't leave until this is straight.
You know, I'm not suicidal. I can't go until y'all really know what time it is. And then after that, boom, it's all over. And we can see, you know, how this shit fall. But that's how it is. And the reason being is because if I can't live free, if I can't live with the same respect as the next man, I don't want to be here. Because God has cursed me to see what life should be like. If God wanted me to be this person and be happy here, he wouldn't let me feel so oppressed. He wouldn't let me feel so trampled on. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't let me think the things I think. So I feel like I'm doing God's work. You know what I'm saying? Just because I don't have nothing to pass around for people to put money in the bucket don't mean I ain't doing God's work. I feel like I'm doing God's work. You know what I'm saying? Because these ghetto kids ain't God's children. And I don't see no missionaries coming through there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing God's work. While Reverend Jackson do his up in the middle class and he go to the White House and have dinner and pray over the president, I'm up in the hood, you know what I'm saying, doing my work with my folks. And just because I don't live there don't mean I don't go there. I got to go there because I can't hang nowhere else.